Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about a K-series. It's called King of Pigs. Just a disclaimer, King of Pigs has a lot of stuff about bullying, and there's blood and there's gore. Oh my god. When you hear the name, it sounds, like it's gonna be about like politicians or something, or policemen, because some people refer to them as pigs, but it's not that. It's about like school children, like just school going children, and their stories about bullying, and then they grow up and it comes back to haunt them. So basically it starts out as a crime has been committed, and it's so gruesome the police are shocked. But the thing is, one of the policemen's name is written in blood, so right from the beginning it has this vibe, the creepy vibe. It's just like, oh my god, who could this be? At first you're thinking like maybe it's like a serial killer or something, or it's just some random person who has it out for this officer, but it's not. So the series, it goes back and forth, like past, present. So I actually preferred the past was interesting. Like, you are like, oh my god, this is what children go through in some schools, and this is how they grow up. Basically they were showing us what bullying does to someone, because actually, you guys, people don't forget. Like those are kind of scars like people walk with. You encounter that bullying, and then your life just goes from trying to live normally to just psycho stuff. So what happens is, so after the murder has been committed, the police are finding the name of this policeman, and he's asked, because obviously the police work is to be suspicious of everyone. He's asked, do you know anything about this? But he doesn't, because he doesn't relate to whatever is happening. He cannot even recall what's happening. So turns out, back when they were in like high school, oh my god, they were like at first they were like, there was this boy who was being bullied continuously, and when one of them like tried to stand up for him, he became the target of this bullying. So the two of them were being bullied constantly. Like, it was just too much. It was just, they were being beaten, their books are thrown in the water, they are being sent food, their money is being taken. The thing that got me about the beatings, god, I was like, why would high school students, instead of concentrating on your studies, this is what you do? You decide, you know what, I'm gonna go about like beating people and just being, not a good person. I'm actually surprised. I was surprised and shocked and just angry. But it happens. These are some of the things that happens that most grown-ups don't know, which is, I think they know, they just ignore, because all of us have been through teenage years and we know how like difficult it can be. But grown-ups tend to like pretend like it's not happening, maybe, and hope that it goes away. So I think that is what was happening here. So the worst thing is the class teacher of that class specifically, he was a shitty person. Okay, he was a horrible like human being. Like, the children would go to him and tell him like, this person is bullying him, but because the bully, somehow his father is rich, and he can bribe the teacher, so he gets away with a lot of stuff. So the bullying continues. So there was this one time, there's another boy who comes into the picture. So this boy, he's always asleep in class and no one talks to him. He's the weirdo that people just don't want to relate to. He tries to stop the fight because he's tired of hearing these boys crying, so he tries to stop it. And the bullies don't like this, so they're like, who are you? And they start fighting with this other boy. So this weird boy, the thing is, he knows how to fight. They find out he knows how to fight, and he beats them to a pulp. He fights almost like 5 boys all at once and just crushes them. Okay, and they are shocked at this because they thought that because they have numbers they'd win, but they didn't. So when the other boys see this, they're like, oh my god, the bullies were beaten by this one boy. Oh my god, this is amazing. So the other two boys that were being bullied before, because they are tiny and they are cowards and they don't know how to fight, they decide to stick to this weird boy. But the weird boy, I think there's something wrong with his brain, because he tells them in order to win you need to do something drastic, because you are cowards and you don't have the strength. You need to do something drastic so these people will leave you alone. So he kind of takes them on and tries to teach them. There's this part where he makes them kill like a cat, and I'm like, oh my god, that is so disgusting, because he's telling them they need to have a mindset, over I wouldn't say a killer, but over a fighter. Let me say that, because their mindset is all that matters. They need to have a mindset of I'm not going to be, these people are not going to continue stepping on me. So they become good friends. In all of this. They stick together, and as they are going on in life, they are still fighting the bullies, but now at least they have one person who actually knows how to fight. So these bullies actually have protection from boys older than them. So they tell boys older than them that there's this one kid in their class who has made it his mission to not listen. So the big boys, they come to class and they were like, who is this boy? Oh my god. And they start fighting, and even the big boys are beaten by this kid. So he becomes sort of a celeb in school, because they're like, he can beat everyone, so no one touched these boys. So he becomes the protector, and now they are the ones who are famous. They are the ones, everyone is buying things for them just because they want to relate to them, be in relation to them, so that they are not being bullied, because people will see, they have this person on their corner. Okay, so that's the past. So it goes on to the future. Now the future, it turns out these people who are dying are actually they have a relationship. All of these people, the police are finding they're dying, and the name of the detective is being written by blood, are the bullies. Finally the detective is able to realize that these people we went to school together with, and he starts suspecting it's one of their friends. Okay, so he knows for a fact it's one of them, and he tells this to the police. So a bolo is put out there for capture of this friend, because the detective actually thinks about it and knows who exactly it is. So it turns out one of the boys that was being bullied made money. After making money, now he was revenging on them for bullying him 20, not even 20, 10 or 15 years ago. Now he's exerting revenge right now, because as you know, trauma doesn't go away. So what happened in the beginning, I told you that the detective could not remember what was happening. So what happened when they were younger, these friends, the weird kid committed suicide. I'm sorry to say, committed suicide. So these boys were in kind of a shock, and they forgot everything that happened. They forgot each other because they had to be transferred to other school. But let me tell you something, the suicide, it's not like simply just suicide. Something happened. King of Pigs was one of those thrillers you watch and you're like, this is how it should be written, because it was so good, well written, and there was blood, and it was just goyish, and it was chef's kiss. King of Pigs is one of those movies, series I watched and I was satisfied. I was like, this is something that could happen. This is something that someone could do out of revenge, because trauma doesn't go away. Bullying is not okay. You're destroying someone's life Okay, it's gonna affect them in the future. Okay, you guys go watch King of Pigs. It's one of those series that you watch and you're like, yes, me too, me too. Okay, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.